10.1 Basic Structure of a C Program. So far, we have learned all the elements which are applicable to a C program. Now, let us consider what is the entire structure, what is the basic structure of a C program. As you know that C is a function-oriented programming language. That means every C program should be composition of one or more functions. If a C program is having only one function, that should be the main function. So, in order to design a C program, what to do? First, let us take up a task and let us analyze and find out what are the subtasks involved in that. Then we list out all the subtasks. For achieving every subtask, we define a function. So, every function in a program contributes something. The collective contribution of all the functions in a program achieves the main task. That is a simple thing. The collective contribution of all the functions in a program achieves the main task. That is the strategy. A function is the building block of a C program. If a C program is having only one function, that should be the main function. The program execution starts from the main function. Understand? And now let us see. Now already I introduced all the sections in a C program. Now let us list out all the sections and let us revisit the entire thing for the sake of integrity and complete knowledge. Now you see, I have listed out all the sections involved in a C program. But one thing you must remember, all these sections are not compulsory. You may not write a C program with all the sections. Some are optional, some are compulsory. So, now let us list out all that and see their functionalities. First one is documentation section. This is optional, but as a matter of convention, every C programmer writes documentation section. Documentation section. This is actually comments. Comments, as a matter of convention, if you remove all the comments from a program also, program gives the same result. So, comments provides the self-documentation. That's why it is called a self-documentation section. Not only here, throughout the program, where things are not obvious, there we write comments. You know that thing. Thereafter, include section. Include section means, actually, here, many times I explained, language is different and standard library is different. Standard library provide a large set of ready-made functions. So, once you include a particular library like method.h, the corresponding functions are available to your program. These standard library functions are not part of the C language. That's why we have to include that. And many times in all the programs you did it like stdio.h, math.h, string.h, ctype.h, time.h. This is the include section. Here a component is there that is called a linker. The linker includes the library, links the library to your program. That is called include section. Here standard library. And if you create your own library, that is called user defined library. User defined library also can be included. Then if you are a professional and if you are dealing with a set of functions always for your client, you may create your own library like mylib, mylib.h. Then all those functions you can include like standard library functions, and then whenever you want, then you can call and use those functions. So, include section, not only including standard library and user library, if any, that can be included. Thereafter, definition section. Definition section actually here in the definition section, you know that already defined file 3.14159, this type of code we have written. For the sake of improving readability and writing the code easily, we use this define. These are symbolic constants or macros. Symbolic constants are macros. We have applied this concept many times in many programs. And next, one more is there, that is global global declaration section. Global declaration section means somewhere in this chapter we study it in detail. Sometimes we declare certain variables. Those are global variables. Global variables means the program consists of many functions. Then you are many files. Then you make them available to all the files of the program. Not only one file, all the files of the program. It is equally accessible from all the parts of the program. Whenever you declare a variable above the main, that variable is called global variable. So whenever you require to avail a particular variable throughout the program, then you can declare it as a global variable, and above the main you can declare. Thereafter, main section, main function section. Main function section is very core. Without main, there will be no C program. Already I told you, every C program is composition of one or more functions. If it is having only one function, that should be the main function. And number two is the program execution starts from main only. Always you remember, the main is like a manager. Without manager, there will be no office. Without main, there will be no C program. But as far as comparison purpose, if you compare main function with any other function in a program, fundamentally you can find two differences. The first difference is without main, there will be no C program, and program execution starts from the main function. It is like the entry point of the program. And apart from this, then it is like any other function in the C program. So main function is compulsory, and without main you don't write any program. Understand? Thereafter, this is the main block. Main function. Every function should have a block. This is the main block. In main block, you can find four sections. First one is declaration section. Whatever variables you are going to use in the program should be declared first. Thereafter, you can write any code, including clear screen. Understand? Many times I explained that C is very stringent on this point. In the declaration section only, irrespective of the number of variables, you must declare and then write any other code. Thereafter, input, that is reading from the keyboard, that is input section. Thereafter, processing. On input variables are stored in the variables. Input values are stored in the variables. You can retrieve and make the process, that is manipulation of the data. In the processing section is done. Ultimately, after processing is over, then output should be displayed. That is called output statements we write for displaying output. So that is the output section. Then this is the end of the main function. Thereafter, for processing data, we developed a mechanism called functions. A main task, in order to perform its task, it may call many other functions. It comes in the processing section, mainly in the processing section, and already explained to you. Main task is divided into subtasks, and those subtasks, for achieving those subtasks, several functions are defined, and mainly in the processing section, the functions are called. The functions should be functions are nothing but sub programs. This is we can call a sub program section. In the sub program section, we define all the functions, whatever functions you called here, and from the main you define those sections. Actually, you see that if you call main function is the main program, these are the sub programs. These are structure is same. It is this block is headed by main, this block is headed by the particular function. Understand? That's why functions are called sub programs. This is sub program section. These are the overall sections. Now you should have a complete knowledge, but all sections are not compulsory. Some are optional. Now see document section, include section, definition section, global declaration section, main function. Within main function, declaration section, input section, processing section, output section. After the main is closed, main is over, then subprogram section. In that, whatever functions are called, all the functions we define. This is the overall structure of a